Yes. 8524.
We'll hit 2 spots today. A great Thai eatery on Spring Street, brought to you by a chef couple that met while cooking at Per Se.
Crispy garlic.
Crispy garlic.
And then a fun little Hungarian-inspired restaurant in the East Village with a chef barely into his 20s.
I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food.
CFR to go. I'm still waiting on a beetle to go. CFR's for 8524.
They met cooking at Per Se, dated soon thereafter, then married. She's half Thai, and their trips to visit her family in Thailand were their inspiration. Now they run the excellent and always packed Uncle Boons and a great takeout delivery-only annex called Uncle Boons' Sister, just around the corner.
All right, so we've got the mixed grill here, yellowtail collar, baby octopus, head-on prawns, charred lime, roasted tomato non-prick, and this is also our seafood non-prick.
Why this concept? And I've read some stuff, and I want to hear it from you guys. So why this food?
I'm half Thai.
There you go.
I was born in Thailand. My whole family is over there. We started going to visit my family. I took Matt for the first time.
And I'm sitting down with her grandmother eating like fermented mackerel and rice in the morning, and she's just laughing at me. She's like, "You don't even know what this is. You can't handle this, you know?" And I'm like, "This is delicious." So this is both. Yeah, this is the sausage duo. We've got both. I had never experienced Thai food like that before. You know, and people are like, "Oh, what was it like?" I was like, you know, when you jump in the ocean the first time for the season, and like it's so cold it takes your breath away. That's how spicy the food was. You know what I mean? That for me, I was like, oh, you know, and you're just like, you know, your nose is running, your eyes are watering, you're like, wow, this is great, but I want more. You know,
So what's the first demo?
Doing green curry snails.
So basically, we have extra large snails.
Marinated in green curry sauce.
We marinate them in the green curry first.
And roughly what's in the green curry?
Cilantro stems, green Thai bird chilies, obviously coconut milk.
Lemongrass, coriander, white peppercorn, ton of spices.
What's the chef?
Crispy garlic.
Crispy garlic.
Crispy garlic. That's another thing, right, with Thai food too. There's just so much of this textural stuff.
Yeah.
Ground nuts, crispy garlic, shallots, all these like bits
Yeah.
that like chefs love.
So the duck, Crescent Farm duck breast, tom kha, so it's like a galangal, garlic, red Thai bird chilies, coconut milk, maitake mushrooms, red onion pearls.
And what got you into cooking? I kind of want to get like
Into cooking?
Yeah.
I just grew up loving to eat, loving food. I went to Peter Kump's.
Okay, the ICE now, whatever they call it. Yeah.
Exactly. Externship at Danielle.
Well, that's impressive.
It was a great kitchen. Alex
Alex Lee,
Lee was
yeah.
there at the time. I mean, a scary kitchen for your first kitchen, but really exciting.
Yeah, that's a great start, though. I mean, what a great place to go from cooking school into that kitchen.
Yeah.
And Matt, you're from?
I went to CIA. After that, I was fortunate enough to work for Rick Lockinen at a place called Illo.
Up on Bryant Park, one of the best restaurants in the city. Rick was such a talented guy.
For me, like, that opened my eyes to a whole other level of cuisine and you know, finesse, for sure. This is our meat grab salad, sweetbreads, crispy noodles, red onion, cilantro, tamarind.
And then you guys met at Per Se.
We did, yeah.
Both line cooks.
Mm-hmm.
I went out to the French Laundry, it's like 7 months, 7 months before in order to get the job.
It's like a graduate school. It's like going to like Yale Business School
Yeah.
or Harvard Law or something. It's like, what's on your resume? Per Se. Okay, you got the job.
Yeah.
So how many years did you do? A couple years there?
I did 2 almost.
Well, that's the lifetime. 2 years
Yeah.
there is like,
Yeah.
in dog years, it's like 10 years anywhere else.
Yeah, I was about the same.
Then you dated afterwards.
I was trying to convince her to date me for a long time. We were friends, but it took a while.
Yeah, it takes convincing.
You know?
Yeah.
That slow, steady pressure.
It works eventually. Eventually, hopefully. They give in. When did you guys finally become a couple, and when did this restaurant idea become an idea?
That's when I was at Illo. I mean, not at Illo, at Country.
Yeah.
That's when we started actually dating. Where were you at that point?
I went to La Esquina
right.
after Per Se, and it was like it was
And
great.
Fred
It was a
was the
shock
chef.
to the system, but
Yeah.
it was fun.
All right. We go Marrow, please. So we started getting serious and, meeting her family. And then the second trip, it was really kind of like, all right, you know what, we should open a Thai restaurant. Like that's when we really decided that we wanted to do this. Our first business was a seasonal place.
On Shelter Island, yep.
Shelter. And, we would just get our asses handed to us all summer, and then we would lick our wounds, and we went to Thailand to do that. We had that business 5 years, built it up, sold it, but with the vision of doing this the whole time. So it's crazy that it actually happened, and we were able to do it, Marie, you have one masaman to go. All right, let's go lamb, sticky. This is our lamb lob. So fish sauce, lime juice, cilantro, cucumber, and obviously a leg of lamb.
All right, here we are. Takeout started as
Originally started as Mr. Donahue.
Mr. Donahue's, which is a great story. Kind of American classics. Didn't quite get the traction you wanted. Uncle Boon's Maine is so busy that you're turning away people all night long.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just do an annex of that here. Same neighborhood, we're not going to cannibalize it. Just, our version of Thai, real good, real simple, but basically to go.
Exactly.
Right? We have a couple seats.
Lower price point, quicker dishes, more composed it comes with rice, that kind of thing. So we're gonna do a pad Thai first, the shrimp pad Thai.
Okay.
A little bit of garlic oil. So we've got garlic, shallot, preserved radish, and firm tofu. I'm gonna start with that, sweat it out. We're gonna go in with our thin rice noodles. Get a little color on our rice noodles. Next, we've got some egg here. Next, we're gonna go garlic chive, tamarind sauce, and we've got our dried shrimp, toasted red skin peanuts, and bean sprouts.
I think we're over a dozen ingredients. And where do you get your shrimp from? Head on like that.
These are coming from Ecuador.
Okay.
Here we are.
Bingo.
Shrimp pad Thai. So next we're doing the fried chicken lob. So we have chicken thighs here. We marinated them. We've got a little AP flour, a little toasted rice powder, a little bit of chili.
Do you like the toasted rice just because it crisps up?
The toasted rice powder adds a lot of flavor to it.
Does it? Okay.
This is the toasted rice powder here. We'll take sticky rice, we'll toast it really dark. It almost looks like wild rice. We'll add lemongrass and galangal to it, so it's very floral. So it adds a really nice flavor component to it. So the salad consists of a little bit of shredded cucumber, got red onion, scallion, some mint, and some cilantro. We make a dressing ahead of time. It's fish sauce, lime juice, chili powder. Again, a little bit more of the toasted rice powder. This is kind of a play on a dish that Ed and I saw in Bangkok. KFC does a fried chicken lob. So it just seemed like a kind of a fun, take to do.
That's great.
We'll just serve the fried chicken right on top of this.
Oh, you're not kidding. You put a good amount of that on the end.
Yeah, it really adds a nice depth of flavor to it.
So one more time, Chef. What was in that toasted rice flour?
So it's sticky rice, raw sticky rice.
Sticky rice that you've had.
We toast it really dark, and then we also toast some galangal and some lemongrass.
Because you really smell it. I don't think they were doing that at KFC.
I don't know, you'd be surprised. It seemed pretty delicious. This is our fried chicken lob. This is our grilled baby octopus, side of seafood non-prick, fish sauce, lime juice, green hybrid chilies. We've got a charred lime on the side. You can go B16. Thank you.
How would you describe what you're doing? Because it's kind of your vision of it, but what is it that informs you with Thai cooking? You clearly grew up with it in your palate. You fell in love with it from the grandmom's cooking, but how would you describe it?
There's a lot of dishes that we just fell in love with, after eating them and just figured out the best way to make them. So that's the golden chicken curry. It's a whole leg thigh. We pick all the thigh meat and then the drumstick is on the bone. Pickled red onion, cilantro, pickled mustard greens, scallions, got crispy egg noodles as well as boiled egg noodles. It's a very traditional dish. Other dishes we've kind of, created our own
take,
interpretation of it. Like we do a bone marrow satay. Obviously, satay normally you would see with either chicken or pork. We're doing it with bone marrow, but the flavor profile is the same. Bone marrow, cross-cut. We're gonna do a play on the satay. So bone marrow satay. We're just gonna season it real quick. These have been soaked in salt water overnight.
Pull the blood out.
Pull out any of the blood, impurities, that kind of thing. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna roast it in the charcoal. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the satay sauce, and then we're gonna caramelize that.
Back in the oven.
Back in the oven. We're gonna do a little toasted red skin peanuts, a little texture, do a little bit of Malden salt, a little chopped cilantro. I like texture a lot, and I think it's nice to have the plain texture. You have the crunchiness of the peanuts, you have that richness of the marrow. You know, it's kind of hits all the elements. We're doing it with some grilled bread as well, some grilled brioche. I just think it works really well with the marrow. A little more of the satay sauce. And then what we'll do is we'll serve it with red onion and cucumber, a little bit of vinegar. It's kind of like a condiment that you would see always accompanies satay.
I mean, who doesn't love bone marrow? And that's got all this Thai love going on all over it. It's rich and fatty and unctuous, and these little vinegary things are helping out. Oh man, heaven.
I mean, you can see why this food is so bloody popular, because it's so bloody tasty.
This is our pea shoots, a little bit of salted soybean, some chilies, a little bit of soy sauce, just stir fried in the wok. All right, pea shoots, you're gonna go 29. We're relentlessly honest with each other, you know, especially about food. And it gets very intense, and you know, there's a lot of arguments, but we're brutally honest with each other, and that's what keeps us both in check, and that's what's like, no, actually this could be better, you know? So we constantly are pushing each other to make things better and tweak things.
I mean, there's a reason this is good, and this is the reason.
Hey Cass, will you help me at table 11, please?
Named after the eddy currents in water, this little spot serves up really good inspired market-driven food with a decidedly Hungarian accent and a sweet little wine list to bring it all together.
What got you into this business, just like by way of backstory?
Madness.
Of course, of course.
Yes. I grew up in Toronto, and when I was young, my parents had a restaurant. So,
Kind of enough said.
yeah, that's it. I got the bug.
Yes.
Moved to New York just before 9/11. Was working in a different industry, philanthropy. Sometimes I still feel like I'm in philanthropy.
You are.
And
Or it's a nonprofit, either way. It's
there you go. Then I decided I wanted to do a career change, and we opened this place up in May 2014.
What we're doing here is taking different ingredients and different techniques of Hungarian cooking and infusing that with, you know, the market and the whole seasonal thing. And yes, we use paprika, not too much, but we're also using tokai, which is Hungarian sweet wine. So we're using that as a gelée right now. We used it as a sorbet. It's a chicken liver mousse with a tokai gelée, a stone fruit compote, some toasted fennel, and a polenta pullman. We're also doing the langosh now on the menu, which is like Hungarian flatbread donut.
Chef, what do we have going? This is
Langosh batter.
It's Hungarian.
It's Hungarian.
How do you spell it?
Langos.
And what is it exactly? Clearly, it's dough and there's yeast.
Yeah, so there's Yukon Gold potato and yeast, flour, a little bit of milk. Yeah, so a bunch of good stuff, and that's all bad for you in one thing.
Yukon Gold potatoes and milk isn't bad for you.
No, it's just like, but once you fry it, deep fry it, then it's amazing fat boy food. It's common as like a New York City pretzel in Hungary, and they have big barrels of kraut that you can serve up next to it. So what kind of makes them langosh is the divot in the center of them, and so you can fill the inside with whatever condiment you want. Yeah, we serve ours with a horseradish remoulade and also some sauerkraut.
That's the horseradish remoulade.
It's sour cream. It's also a little bit of buttermilk and lots of black pepper, lots of dried onion, and horseradish.
Just fresh grated.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. That's a beautiful thing.
So if it doesn't have enough oil, you're just gonna add more oil to it.
Clarified butter or oil or just?
This is a garlic oil, roasted garlic oil.
Well, then you're allowed. That's a flavor.
In Hungary, this is actually like an essential part of the langosh. Also sour cream and bacon.
Light food.
Light food, yeah. Full salt. Yeah, we kind of stack them like so. Nice, simple, and quite honestly delicious.
Jeremy is American.
Yeah. And he's young. How old is this
Young.
dude?
He's 23. He's 23. I mean, it's
Cut. I'm
unbelievable.
23. Just know we were doing the show with the 23-year-old. You have a driver's
unbelievable.
license? Does he graduate high school? Is he?
You don't need either to be
I'd
a
carve.
chef.
I would card that kid if I'm a bartender.
You, again, don't need that to be a chef.
No, you're fine, but you should get that lamb shank in. Yeah.
What do you need to be? Hardworking? Check.
Hardworking.
Skilled, talented? Check. Passionate? And to me, intelligent, all those things. But he cares. He really, really cares. And you see it. You see it in the food. You taste it in the food.
All right, so next I'm gonna make the mangalitsa salad for you guys.
Mangalitsa is that hairy little weird-looking pig.
Oh, they're so cute. They're
Looks like a hippie version of a pig. It has like belly hair that comes down to the ground, but they're mainly built. Forget the hair, because we don't need that. They're built for fat. They're just super fatty.
oh yeah.
Like you cut the carcass, you're like, what am I looking at? Like everywhere where there's fat, there's like 3 times as much.
Their fat is so good. We actually don't cure our mangalitsa in-house, sadly, but we do get it from a really great source in North Carolina, and our cut comes from the shoulder versus the leg. Shoulder's just a little bit leaner. What I'll do first is dress our radicchio with a little bit of lemon juice, and some olive oil, pepper, and salt. And then I like to massage my lettuce, because who doesn't like to massage their lettuce?
There are actually job listings in Craigslist for kale massagers.
That's not a thing.
Specifically, it's a thing. It's a garde-manger thing if you're a kale massager.
Huh. What am I doing for?
I don't know.
I think radicchio has a lot of grooves inside of it, so I like to make sure that the whole entire leaf is covered.
All right, so we've massaged the radicchio.
So we've massaged. So we kind of just like lay it down. Hopefully it comes out nice and airy. And then I'll layer in some of our radicchio. So it's just some amber honey. Drizzle it right over the top.
Because radicchio is kind of bitter and just because?
Yeah, that bitter, that salty, that funk coming from the cure.
That aftertaste is funky.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We'll just do some toasted hazelnuts. And then we just took these really awesome baby grapes and we've roasted them. Actually, we just put them up in the salamander until they're all like blistered and they've got this like raisin-like texture, but they still are juicy and they kind of burst in your mouth.
Salamander broiled grapes.
And that's about it.
Hey, that pork's amazing. And the honey works. Like I could see eating that without the honey, because I don't mind bitter stuff. Like I err on the side of bitter.
Yeah.
But then the honey actually adds something to it.
Yeah.
Like it's a high tone note or something. Like some brightness, which is weird. You don't think of that, but it does. Stracciatella.
Stracciatella.
Your version.
Another non-Hungarian thing.
The whole world of natural wine, of non-interventionist winemaking, of low SO2 or zero SO2, of just farmers growing, of going back to the soil, of organic and bio. I mean, that's what your list is full of. Your palate's changed, it's adapted to go there?
It has, but we also have some Bordeaux and we have some
Yeah, of course.
Burgundy. The reality is, look, I'm all for wines that where the winemakers and the vigneron aren't spraying chemicals all over it. That makes sense to me, but I'm not picking, and we're not picking those wines because they're natural, organic, biodynamic,
you like 'em.
whatever. Because we like them. And if they happen to be those things, fantastic, even better. This is from Jenny and Francois, natural wine producer. The thing we spend the most time on is trying to find delicious wines for by the glass and for the value. And we just love this wine because it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm salivating. And I haven't had a sip yet. That's bad.
That's
just
good. For a restaurant, that's really
it's
good.
doing the thing, that Pavlovian thing that wine does to us. You put it to your nose and you go, oh, I recognize this fruit. I recognize this. Like dark, brambly, berryish. Cab Franc is the grape, Loire Valley is the region, and it's just textbook in there, including that little slight pyrazine you get, almost like a peppery vegetal quality that some people many years ago used to consider a fault because it was a kind of a fault out of Bordeaux, but it's part of the Cab Franc DNA.
I'm always looking for balance. And what's nice about this, they're not scared of fruit in this wine. They let the fruit get ripe, which is, I think, a great thing, then you have those naturally occurring pyrazines, and it actually makes a beautiful balance.
It's in there. It's in the DNA of the grape. It's still delicious. Salute. Thank you.
Cheers.
What's the stock for that, chef? Chicken?
It's actually a kombu, leek, and dried shiitake broth. And then we roast some garlic and we puree it into it. So this is our pan-roasted skate wing with cider braised collard greens and a caper paprika butter carrot sauce.
Beautiful. Bone out?
Yes.
So those are your panis, chef.
Yeah.
Classic, just chickpea flour, that's what it is?
Yeah, and some garlic and milk. And we fry them up, and it goes with shishito peppers, red miso, and lemon and garlic confit.
That's what's going on top now.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're 23 years old, and I hate you.
That's okay.
How did you get this good at this age? You started when you were 2.
I think it was when I stumbled on my mom watching the Food Network, but actually like cooking shows. Yeah, I would just sit there and do my homework in front of it, not really thinking twice. So I learned a thing or two from that. All right, so next I'm gonna make our beets, our charred beets with formed dambert.
With what?
Formed dambert. It's really fudgy, sweet blue.
French?
Yes. It's a really lovely cheese. We cut ours with a little bit of creme fraiche and some heavy cream, and we whip it so it's nice and smooth.
And no fancy quenelle, we're just dropping that on the darn plate.
Oh yeah, we're gonna smear this.
Okay.
Smear. So what we do is we take these really beautiful beets that we got from the farmer's market, we boil them in heavily salted water.
Okay, that's the first cook.
And then we take it one step further, we peel it, and then we put it over an open flame, and we just char them until it has this black skin, and then we just kind of peel that off a little. But I like the char in there. It adds a really nice flavor to it, so we keep that on. I like to use pretty much the entire beet, the whole bloody beet, and from here we just season it. So we do a bit of fennel, our magic dust.
So pollen or powdered or?
Just fennel powder. We just ground up, toast and some ground up fennel, some pepper, and then lovage, which is really nice. I think lovage has this almost like maple kind of taste to it. Adds a really nice element to the beet. And then we're gonna finish it with a cured egg yolk. It's actually really simple, and you can do it at home yourself. Anyone can really do it.
Tell me it's really common and I'm an idiot. You're allowed to say that. Everybody uses them.
Cured egg yolk is just as obvious as mustard. It's just like...
Sure, it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. It's ubiquitous. It's, come on, Mike, seriously? When did you go to cooking school? 1921? All right, I'm done. Guilty as charged. It's not done yet.
Just a little oil. And we make this like vinaigrette with sherry vinegar, a little bit of honey, and olive oil and the beet juice.
That's a great vegetable side dish. I mean, that's just like, that's dinner for some people. I love beets. There's just something about how organic and the soil base that flavor is. I love beets. Chef, this is great.
There used to be a little Hungary up in the Upper East Side, right? And it's diminished to basically nothing. So I decided to bring some of my Hungarian background and kind of put that into the menu, infuse that into the menu. We're making schnitzel. Our schnitz, as we like to call it, comes from the pork shoulder, comes from the eye. It's just a really nice, silky, tender cut. We just standard breading procedure.
Flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs.
Some panko breadcrumbs that are nice and ground up, and then we fry it in clarified butter.
Black steel pan, nice and easy.
Yeah, we start off really low, because it can go pretty quick. In the meantime, I'll make this potato salad with you. So we take some gold marble potatoes, just boil them in heavily salted water. We add a little bit of bonito aioli. It's just simple aioli, egg yolks, and a little bit of mustard, canola oil, because olive oil is just a little too aggressive, especially with the bonito. A touch of olive oil and a touch of lemon juice, just kind of brighten it up. We add some sesame seeds.
Is bonito smoky at all or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Slightly.
Slightly fishy, slightly smoky. So you have panko on the outside?
Yep. It actually gets better if you like stick it on a rack and kind of like age in the fridge.
Kind of dries.
Yeah,
it does.
It dries out and it like makes it super perfect. Very particular about our schnitz.
But that's the thing with stuff like schnitzel is I think when you pare down these recipes to like really, it just has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like there is no place to hide.
Yeah.
Like the breading has to be perfect, the cooking has to be perfect, this potato salad has to be spot on.
Well, I think that's like what we kind of strive for here is like the Eddy is that everything is really simple, but it has to be like the best because otherwise there's no hiding behind it. So gold marble potatoes, bonito dressing, and then we top it with some cracked pepper and that cured egg yolk again.
Cured egg finds its way into this dish too.
It's just kind of like regular potato salad with a schnitzel, has egg in it, like a boiled egg. And then this is our lingonberry jam, but it's with huckleberries and preserved cherries. And it goes really well with the schnitzel.
Some dill.
And some dill. That's it.
Beautiful.
That is the schnitz.
I'm gonna go here first. I'm just beguiled by the potato salad. Potatoes are great. Oh yeah. Pink, juicy, beautiful. Chef. That's killer. Who doesn't love this? I can't think of a single restaurant in the city that's doing Hungarian food.
I think that's what's exciting about it is drawing on his personal history, the food history, and then, you know, like every other chef today, he's a market guy, and we're right beside Union Square Market. So how do you bring the two together? And that's part of the excitement for me, to see that process, to see that evolution. I think our guests find it really exciting.